Welcome back to another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this simple bubu kaftan with tied belt and buttons, as you can see right here. These are the different colors of this bubu kaftan dress. It looks so simple and beautiful. And this is what I got right here, as you can see. This is the bubu kaftan. I made this dress with only 3 yards. These are my buttons. I'm yet to put more buttons to this dress, as you can see right here. So this really looks gorgeous and beautiful. You can see the slit right here, and it has 2 side pockets. These are the buttons as well. You can wear this dress tight fitted with your belt inside, and you can wear it free at the back. So let's dive into this tutorial right away. My fabric is crepe. I use 3 yards. So you can use crepe, you can use silk or any fabric for this dress. Here I have opened up my fabric. Here is the 3 yards. And this is the 60 inches length. So on the 60 inches length, we are going to cut out the collar, okay, the strip that we used for the front. So I will just measure 10 inches. 10 inches I will mark. So use 10 inches instead of 12 inches. I later reduced it to 10 inches. So this I marked 10 inches, and I'm going to cut out that part. After doing that, I'll go to the other side, the other end, and I'll also mark the same 10 inches. So this 10 inches is going to be, I'll share it 5 inches for the collar, then join it at the center back. So just go ahead and cut out 10 inches from the length of 60 inches of your fabric. Then after that is done, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. Okay, so if you can tear it the way I'm tearing, no problem, but you can measure it to be sure. So here you can see it matches with the cut I had the other way. So this is what I got right here. I'm going to place it, the 10 inches, into 2 again. Then I'll go ahead to cut it out. Here you can see me cutting it out. I'm going to cut it all the way to the end. So here I've gotten to the end of it, and we have 2 pieces right here. This is the remaining part of my fabric. So this is the remaining part from the 3 yards, and this is the 60 inches length. So I just pick it up like that, the remaining fabric, put it together. Then I'm going to also pick it up from this point again and put it together to the folded part. Here I have folded it into 4 times right now. So I've arranged it. This is what I have 4 times. Now I'm going to, this is the folded part, which is the center front and center back of this dress. So we are going to start drafting now. First, I'm going to create a border line. So here I am creating a border line. This is my starting point. I'm going to take the measurement of my neck width. Neck width is 2.5 inches. Neck width is 2.5 inches. Neck depth is 1 inch for the back. I'll go ahead and connect my neckline for the back. The neck depth for the front is 9 inches. I'll mark 9 inches. Then I'll come out by 2 inches from the 9 inches. I will connect it to the 2.5 inches neck width. So this is the front neckline. Now, because of the strip, we'll continue to mark the 2 inches all the way from that neckline all the way down. I will rule my 2 inches all the way down. Here I have ruled it all the way to the hemline. Next, we are going to take the measurement of the shoulder divided by 2. My shoulder divided by 2 is 8 inches. I'll mark 8 inches. Then the length of my sleeve is 12 inches, but I'll add 1 inch for seam allowance, making it 13 inches. I will rule a straight line from that point all the way down, and then I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. This 1.5 inches is for the shoulder slant. I'm going to connect this shoulder slant all the way to the neckline like this. Next, we are going to take the measurement of the sleeve opening. My sleeve is 12 inches at this point. I use 12 inches. Then at this point of 12 inches, I'm going to take the measurement. So I'll just rule this way. I'm going to take the measurements using my hip measurement. So just use your hip measurement. It's a straight gown. I'll place my tape and measure my hip divide by 4. Whatever you have, go ahead and add 5 inches to it. This 5 inches is for ease and for seam allowance. Then I'll measure everything I have to that point. I have 17 inches. I'll go over to the hem. I'll measure the same 17 inches. So whatever you have for yours, just measure it at the hem line. I'll rule a straight line from that point to meet up that sleeve point. I'm trying to curve in my sleeve area. So just place a curve there to connect the sleeve and the side of this dress. I'll place my tape on the shoulder. I'm going to measure my waistline. I'll count 2 inches below my waistline. That is for the pocket. At that point, I'm going to measure 7 inches for my pocket opening. 7 inches. Then I'll mark 10 inches for the width of the pocket. I'll go ahead and connect my pocket the way you see me connect it right now. I'll take it all the way like this. So after I'm done with the pockets, we are going to cut out this dress right now. I'm going to cut it from the hem line. I'll take it all the way to the pockets. From the pocket, I will take it to the sleeve area. I'll cut in through the sleeve like this. Then I'm going to cut my sleeve. So you can also add 1 inch seam allowance for hemming your sleeve. I just decided to make my sleeve a little bit longer. So I made it 13 inches instead of 12. Then you add 1/2 inch on the shoulder seam line and then cut out only the back neckline. After that, I'm going to separate the inner piece. I'll take off the inner piece and then cut out the front neckline separately. I'm going to cut that neckline all the way down. After cutting it out, we are going to sew the shoulder seam lines. I will place the front piece on top of the back piece, right side to right side, and I'm going to stitch 1/2 inch. After stitching, this is what I have. Right now, we are going to put the dress together on the seam lines, and I'm going to make a notch at the center back. Then we are going to take the measurement of our strip. Although we've already cut out the strip, but still take the measurement, okay? So after taking the measurement, that will guide you as to the length of your strip. I hasted my strip and we are going to join it together, but then I just want to take the length of my strip. My strip measurement is 60 inches, which is the length of this fabric. The width is 5 inches. Now you can see I'm done joining the both of them together. The next I'm going to do is to prepare my loop. So I brought some pieces I cut out from the dress for the loop. I am cutting out 1.5 inches width for my loop. After cutting out the pieces of the loops, next I'm going to fold in 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then top stitch on it. Here my loop is ready, so I'm going to cut the loop according to the size. I already cut one and it's 3 inches length. I'm going to match up this 3 inches length for all the loops and cut out. Here are the loops and I'm done cutting them out. So I am going to turn this to the front piece. So you turn it to the front side, and from that joining you are going to take your measurement. From that point I measured 13 inches. That is for my neckline, 13 inches. I'm going to get the midpoint of the 5 inches, which is 2.5 inches, and I'm going to measure that 2.5 inches all the way down as the midpoint. Then after that, I'm going to connect with my straight rule. Next, I'm going to create a slit. So from the down part, measure 20 inches upwards. Okay, then you connect the midpoint all the way to the 13 inches we measured earlier. That is where our button loops is going to be. You can see how I created my loop, and I'm going to place it facing this side. Okay, if you place it this other way, that means you want your button loop to be on the left hand side of your dress. So I want it on the right hand side of my dress. So I'm going to pin this button loop facing this other way because I want it on the right hand of my dress. For the button spacing, I'm using 2 inches. So I'll just go ahead and mark 2 inches all the way down. I'll mark it all the way till I get to the slit. Then I am going over to the machine to show you how to sew these loops. Right here on the machine, I'm going to top stitch the first loop. Then I'll pick up the next loop. I will just stitch across. I'll pick up the next loop and I'm going to place it that same way. Make sure you top stitch, then you stitch across. Before you get to the next loop, you place it like that and top stitch, then continue stitching before you get to the next one like that. So make sure you top stitch, and that is how I'm going to sew all my loops. After stitching the loops, at this point you can decide to sew it this way to your dress and button it open, but I want to use the method of closing it up. So I'm going to open up this and then we are going to flip it the normal way we usually flip it. So I will turn it to the part I stitched the loop. Once you turn it that way, try and secure with your pin to stabilize it. So I'm going to sew on the stitches. So I'll just follow the stitches as you see me chalk it right there. So I'll just follow that stitching of the loop and I'll stop at where the slit. After stitching, this is what I got. Next, I'll just open it up the way we usually open the strip. And then I'm going to give it a good press. I just try to give it a very good press so it relaxes nice and flat. So after I'm done ironing, this is what I got right here. So we are going to sew this collar to the neckline right away. Secure at the center back. Then I'll go ahead and stitch all the way down. Here I'm done stitching and this is what it looks like. So if you look downwards, you can see that strip is shorter. Okay, so of course it's supposed to be shorter. So I'll just go ahead and add up another fabric. Since we are using the same fabric, this is not going to be ridiculous, trust me. So just make sure you finish it up very neatly. You can also cut out 3 pieces, okay, from the beginning of this. Before you cut, you can cut out 3 pieces of this and join all of them together. So just make sure you finish it up neatly. The fabric will not show any joining. This is it after I'm done. So I'll just go ahead and trim it off like this. After trimming it off, we are going to stitch the sleeve. I'll go over to the machine and fold my sleeve. After folding the sleeve, next you put your dress together like this, and we are going to measure out the length of the inner belt. Inner belt, I marked it at 17 inches length from my shoulder. Then from the center front line, measure your waist circumference divided by 4. My waist circumference divided by 4 is 9 inches. I'll mark it on this side, and I'm going to mark it on the other side too. So after marking it, we are going to stitch the belt. You open up the dress and stitch the belt. So I will just go ahead and fold my belt and stitch it the way we usually do. After stitching, I'm going to place it the way you see me place and top stitch. I'll also go over to the other side and I'll place and top stitch. So here is my belt. When I wear it, I'll tie it like that on my waist. Next, we are going to put the dress right side to right side this time, and I'm going to stitch right away. I'm stitching 1 inch all the way down. When I get to the pocket, I'm going to stitch in 0.5. Here I am done. Next, I'm going to make notches on those curvy parts. Just make a diagonal notch, and I'm going to also make on the pockets. I'll go ahead and make that way. So this is just to ease the pocket. So I'm going to repeat the same thing this other way. Next, I'll go ahead and hem the down parts, and that is that. So we are going to sew the buttons all the way down. Here I have few buttons, so I just went in and sewed few. I'm going to button it this way. I prefer this method honestly. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next.